decided to do a VanTalk with you because I think you have really a lot to tell, what is so important to share.
The best thing I ever did with my life
was moving to Mexico.
I was doing a lot of drugs and just living a life that wasn't fulfilling my soul. If I'm partying every weekend, I'm never gonna learn the things. I've always been somebody that thought outside of the box. In that moment, I just remember just crying. I didn't want to go to college. If I want to learn something, I'm gonna teach myself. I was never the same. I was reborn. Environment is everything. Everything in that system is working against evolution. Because you can't truly ever be mentally ready, but you can be spiritually ready. I'm here to fulfill God's work. I died.
You thought you are dead?
I can't believe I just died. Like, this is the happiest day of my life. God permitted evil in the world as a contrast. So the monster of the world is going through a death. First step of vibrating at a higher frequency is to eat of a higher vibrational food. This is my movie. This is your movie. Spiritual awakening is blood, sweat, and tears. It's not an easy thing.
Ready?
Yep.
Yes.
Let's do this. Exciting.
Okay, cool.
Ready.
So, welcome to another VanTalk today on my channel with MENTE.
Jacob Elohe, aka MENTE, aka Kundalini Genie. Yeah.
MENTE is a friend of mine. We met each other some months ago.
Yeah.
And we went now to an ayahuasca ceremony together, which was really, really powerful, I can say. And I decided to do a VanTalk with you because I think you have really a lot to tell, what is so important to share with other people. I don't know how you get there, but I really want to know. I want to know more about ayahuasca and especially more about your journey, because I find it very interesting what you are living right now and where you want to go and where you came from.
Yeah.
And I think you have a lot of things to tell to inspire other people, and it's something what people should know, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So thank you that you are here.
Thank you for having me. It's a blessing. Shout out to all my people from Germany that are going to be watching this. And yeah, I send so much peace and love to all of you. It's a blessing to be here.
Perfect. Yeah, so we talked already a lot about so many things, but we have so much things to tell, but let's start with I mean, you grew up in the States.
I grew up in California.
Yeah. How old are you right now?
I'm 26 years young.
26 years young.
Yeah.
And you are half Mexican, right?
Yeah, half Mexican and half African.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Your mommy is from Mexico?
My mom's from Mexico, and my dad's from Atlanta, Georgia, but he has African roots.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, let's start with the question. Why did you move to Mexico with 22? Or how old have you been?
So my first time moving to Mexico by myself was in 2018. And so it was literally on a journey of healing, on a journey of spirituality, on a journey to connect with nature, to connect with the source, you know, and just knowing, it's like, say, I researched for so long online, all this knowledge. And one day I was like, well, I have all this knowledge now about nature, about health, about the sun, about the elements, about spirituality. It's time to actually live what I learned.
Okay.
So it's like, why am I going to learn all of this if I'm not going to live it? And that started with being in the tropical environment and where the elements are a lot more potent. You get the best sunlight, the best food growing from the ground, but the most pure water. And the oxygen is a lot more potent because you have all the jungles and all the oceans, all the rivers. So the oxygen is, all the elements are in their most potent form in between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, by the equator, where the sun hits the most, you know? And yeah, so it started like that. I moved out and I was in a tribe called Carbon Nation. Shout out to my family, Carbon Nation. And it was a beautiful journey. The best thing I ever did with my life
was moving to Mexico?
Was moving to Mexico in 2018.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and we talked already about the point that you was in a state of mind before what was really, how I can say, you was not good. I mean, you was not doing good before, right?
Yeah. In 2017 and from 2015, so I graduated high school in 2014. And I went straight into living by myself with friends and just into a wild lifestyle. Feeling very ill, feeling very just sick within my life, within my habits. I was doing a lot of drugs, partying a lot, and just living a life that wasn't fulfilling my soul, you know? And you could only do so much of that to where your body is literally like, your body can't take it anymore, your soul hurts, you have depression, you have anxiety, nothing feels satisfying, nothing feels like it's giving you life, you lose your passion, you know? And that's where I wasn't happy. I recently embarked this journey, and in 2017 is when it started. Was I just chose to make the decision. My lifestyle is making me sick.
How was your lifestyle exactly?
I was selling drugs, I was doing drugs, I was partying a lot. I was just doing things that were not promoting consciousness, not promoting love, not promoting growth. I was stagnant. I wasn't growing. I was staying the same, you know. I was just...
How old was you?
I was 21? 21 years old. And then, and yeah, I made the decision. It starts with me. I want to be healthy. I want to feel good. I know that there's things out there, like say, for example, I know if I'm looking at, say, at a millionaire, I know that there's things that he knows that the people I'm hanging out, like say the people in my circle don't. Like say the people I'm partying with every weekend, the millionaire knows things that those people don't, that I don't. So what are these things that this person knows that makes him so successful in his journey that this person doesn't know? And I'm not saying that the money is what makes him successful. I'm not saying that the money is what makes him happy, but it takes a certain level of understanding and a certain level of mental thought and process to be able to manifest. So I just knew that there's things that I had to learn that I'm not gonna get in the environment I was in.
Okay.
If I'm partying every weekend, I'm never gonna learn the things that are gonna make me successful.
And this just came from one day to another day, or how?
I always been somebody that thought different. I've always been somebody that thought outside of the box. I've always been very imaginative, very creative. However, I just had bad habits. I wasn't putting myself in environments that were helping me grow.
But I mean, sorry, but it just came from, it was not just that something happens and you decided. It just came like, or you don't remember really?
I remember this one day where I didn't have any money, and I had just gotten really, really drunk. I was doing cocaine. I had gotten really drunk, and the next morning woke up not feeling good, didn't have money, and in that moment I just remember just crying and begging and on my knees, literally crying and like talking to God and saying like, look, I don't know what it means to heal. I don't know what I'm looking for, but please, I beg you, help me. Help me heal. What does it mean? What am I, and I grew up Catholic. I grew up in the church. I grew up going to church all the time, every weekend. And it never really spoke to my soul. It never really activated me. It didn't resonate. you know? It didn't resonate. It wouldn't give me the passion that I needed spiritually in life, you know? And it was literally my own bad habits is what triggered my spiritual awakening. I made myself sick. I did not feel good. Just lost in the world, you know? Just out here, real life, just wilding. And I just chose to make a difference. I surrendered, and it started with me learning about consciousness. It started with me just educating myself, watching YouTube videos. It started with KRS-One. And my own abuse to my body sparked my journey of spirituality. I said, I'm not going to do this to myself anymore. I'm going to live better. I'm going to study. I didn't go to college. I didn't even think about it once. I didn't want to go to college.
Okay.
I knew that if I want to learn something, I'm going to teach myself, you know? We have all the access to all the information on the internet. I can learn anything.
It's true.
You know?
Can learn so much stuff, all about, for example, manifestation. What
Exactly.
I learned it from, I don't know, other people who shared their things online. That's why I think it's so powerful that you're sharing your knowledge right now here.
Yeah. So I moved in 2018 to Mexico. I was living in Palenque, Chiapas.
Oh, wow.
And it was the best decision I ever made. I was never the same. I was reborn. In nature.
What exactly changed? Like, immediately the environment makes you feel different?
Environment is everything. So environment actually alters our genes, our DNA. You could study that learning epigenetics, you know? And that's exactly what I was doing out there. I was out there connecting to nature in an environment that was promoting spirituality around people that were angels, just walking, living angels, you know? Always talking about spirituality, always talking about awareness, consciousness, growth, nature, evolving, food, health.
Here it's true, because in Germany it's not like that at all.
Yeah.
And in the States, how is it there?
It's a big contrast in the States, you know? You have to really find it and search for it to find the frequency of people and the environments that are suitable and promoting a healthy lifestyle, a spiritual lifestyle. However, it's a matrix. You know, everything in that system is working against evolution, against growth. You know, it's not built for that.
I feel this in Europe extremely.
Yeah.
In Europe, wow.
I could imagine.
It's really, really hard. Maybe they go more to the vegan culture in this, a bit about being more conscious about food, for example. I feel this, but that's the first step. But about manifestation and energies that you create what you know, your life in this, for example, no way. It's not really common there. But when was your first ayahuasca?
Wow, okay. So I've been working with plant medicine for many years now, since about 2015 is when I started with mushrooms.
True, you told me.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I've been working with mushrooms for a while. That had a lot to do with my awakening as well, was working with plant medicine, like such as mushrooms. And in 2019 is whenever I really started taking the journey with plant medicine and herbs, and really started taking it serious. But my first ayahuasca wasn't until 2021.
No.
Yeah, that was my first ayahuasca.
Really?
Yeah, this past year.
Wow.
And it activated so much in me.
How you get to this point to do it? Did you read about it before? Are you looking for it, or it just came? Like when me.
So I've always wanted to do ayahuasca, but I understand with something of this tier, something of this level, you don't look for it. You don't go seeking it. This is something that comes to you.
True, like
whenever it needs to.
Yeah.
You know, ayahuasca, I don't feel like it's something like, ooh, I'm gonna go do ayahuasca. You know, it's something like whenever your soul is ready, it will call you and you will feel it. And you will, because you can't truly ever be mentally ready, but you can be spiritually ready. You know?
Nice.
You could be subconsciously ready. You want to, I'm big on subconscious health, and That's the best thing, advice I could give to somebody that is looking to do ayahuasca. Make sure your subconscious health is in a good place before. And we could go into that deeper in a little bit. But
Yes.
yeah, my first time doing ayahuasca was August 28th, 2021. And it was a beautiful day, so powerful. And
Yeah.
it changed my life, you know.
Really, it changed your life?
It changed my
People
life.
saying
It changed
this about it.
I was already very enhanced. I was already very in tune with myself, very spiritual, very grounded, I was very well on my journey, unraveling as a shaman, unraveling as a medicine man, and unraveling just as a modern day bodhisattva, which is like basically like somebody that is incarnated from a heavenly realm here to help the people. You know, and that's what I am. I'm here as a guiding light, you know. I'm here for a sacred service. I'm here to fulfill God's work, the universe's work, the universe's will. And I'm so grateful to be on this journey. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
It's amazing that you feel this and live this now. I can see, and it's really like so beautiful. I mean, wow, this is life about, I feel. Everyone should live like this, but
Yeah.
less people doing it, especially what I told you in Europe or the States. And but can you tell me about the ayahuasca trip a little
Okay.
bit? That would be amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. So, firstly, I would love to say that if you're looking for ayahuasca to heal you, it's like not what it does. It enhances your healing. It enhances your vision. It reveals to you the direction. It reveals to you just what you need to do to heal yourself. So on this first ayahuasca, it was so beautiful. You know, it took me about like an hour to get into the journey. So by the time I took the second drink, I just went straight in. Poof. And it was so amazing. I literally started with me just starting to meditate, and I started to see all these visuals. I started to see these little beings just like in my head, and just like geometry. And whenever I came out of that, I just felt like a warrior. And then I went into the jungle, and it made me throw up. Blah.
Yeah?
It made me throw up. Yeah. And after I threw up, I just started hallucinating. I started seeing all these energies in the jungle. And it was not necessarily hallucinating. It was more like it let me see the things that are usually unseen.
Okay.
So let me see the spirit world. It let me see the things, the energies that are all around us, but we don't have the vision to see them, you know? Because I was seeing like portals. I was seeing like energy, just vortexes just spinning in the air. Just like purples, pinks, yellows, green, blue, all this energy just around everywhere. And yeah, there was a point where
So you saw pink and yellow and like all the colors, or what? How you can like how looks the pink? Just the pink spot?
So no, like it looks like smoke.
Ah, smoke. Okay.
Kind of like that, like energy floating.
They talk to you or something?
No. It was like, okay, so I went into one of them, and so there was a point in time where like so this all happened. Okay, I kind of told the story backwards.
Yeah.
So what happened was I was meditating. I was laying down, and I was like going and just seeing all this stuff, traveling, seeing like visions of like past lives, future lives, everything.
Oh,
like
yeah?
I was seeing a bunch of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, and I flew out of my body at one point. And I flew out my body, and I was in my astral body, and I was flying through the jungle like this.
You fly? You could feel
Yeah,
it?
I was flying in my spirit body.
Really?
And I was looking at myself from above.
Oh,
And I was,
shit.
and I literally, like, I thought I died. I literally, it felt like that.
Oh my God.
I died.
You thought you are dead. In this moment, you thought really you are
Yeah, I
dead.
thought I died. I thought I was done. I thought I finished Earth. So yeah, when that happened, and I was so happy. I was so peaceful. I was so grateful. I was like, wow, I just died. And I'm so happy it happened like this.
Wow.
Like, I'm so happy. Like, I just died today. This is the best day of my life. This was like the moment we've all been waiting for, you know, to die. And because me, I view death as a beautiful thing. Death isn't a scary thing to me. I know that when I die, I just transform into another version of myself, another body, another spirit body, you know. And you're reborn. Death is birth, and birth is death. And yeah, I literally, like, I felt like I was dying. I felt my body getting weak. I felt myself just like falling out. Just felt like my mind was going to sleep.
Wow.
And then I just like felt myself going weak. I kept breathing. And then I could feel like a lot of pressure right here. And then my ears started to ring. And woof. And I just went on a whole like journey astrally. And whenever I got back, like I was seeing all these colors in the sky, and that's when I started seeing all the portals. And whenever I got back to my body, the shaman woke me up. She started shaking my face. And I looked at her and she told me in Spanish, "Estás aquí, estás bien." And she told me, "You are here, you're okay. You're okay." She told me, "You're here, you're okay." And in my head, I thought I died. So in my head, I'm like, she's telling me, "You're in the spirit world now.
No, okay.
You're on the other side now." And that's what it felt like. I felt like I crossed over into another dimension, because when I got back, everything was different.
In another dimension.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. I got back and everything was different.
But you are in another dimension now.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely. In another frequency, a dimension. A dimension is, to me, is a frequency. It's a perspective. You know, you could tune in to a frequency that gives you a whole different perspective of the world.
Okay, we need to wait.
Okay.
What she said?
She's asking us to scoot it back a little bit because the people need to pass.
Okay, we go to another place.
Yeah. Elevated now, and the other way it was a lot lower.
Okay, guys, we are now in Tulum.
Getting some food if you're done.
Tao, thanks for your help. Best location. Mente decided to do the VanTalk in the jungle because he feels more himself here. So yeah, it's perfect. We're gonna start now with a part 2. Yeah, so we switched the location to Tulum. Now we are here because anyway we wanted to go to Tulum today, to the jungle party here in the cenote. So yeah, so we stopped talking about, you told me about the Ayahuasca experience.
Yes.
And that you switched the dimension.
Okay, so this was my first ayahuasca experience, and it was so beautiful. It was everything it needed to be. Such a healing medicine, such a powerful medicine. And I went through this whole experience where I literally thought I was dying. I thought I died. I thought Earth was over for me.
Wow.
I thought I beat the game. And it came to the point where I just felt my body weakening. I laid down and I just felt myself just like going to rest, in the rest mode. And I just felt like everything, like I felt all my energy moved up, and it was all vibrating in my third eye. All my energy felt like it was right there, and then a lot of pressure there. And then my ears started ringing, and I was just there laying down, breathing. And then I could feel just the ringing, and then I flew out of my body. And I was looking at myself from above, and I was looking at the fire, and I was looking at all the people. And then I was looking around and I could see in the sky, I could see colors in the sky like that weren't there before. And all around the jungle, I was able to see like these colors floating around. They looked like little energies, like spirits, and like energy vortexes, energy portals. And I remember walking into the jungle and feeling just feeling just the energy, feeling my warrior spirit, and just I saw a pink light, just like pink light floating around, like just it looked like pink smoke. And from there, like something told me I could go into it. And then I went blank for a little moment, and I just remember having the thought like I could go into it. And then next thing I know, I'm just running like into the portal, and I jumped, and I did a front flip into it, and I landed on my back, and I started throwing up.
Wow.
And I started throwing up ayahuasca. And then after that, I was like, had my eyes closed, and in my head, I saw the Mayan calendar. And then it broke up into tiny pieces, every little symbol, and every single piece went into my body. And it felt like I was downloading Mayan wisdom. It felt like I was downloading Mayan information and just all that ancient wisdom, you know. And that's part of my ancestry, is like Mayan culture and like Mexican culture. And I felt like I was downloading, and I remember just feeling like pulsing, like my body was vibrating, and all of those symbols were entering me. And after that, like I remember seeing all these numbers, equations, like mathematics, and like different geometric shapes, like different shapes, and it felt like I was like downloading the pyramids. It felt like I was downloading the information from the pyramids, and it was just such a deep shift in my journey, in my spirit, in my essence. When I came back, I literally thought I was crossed over. I didn't think I was I thought I was in the spirit world now. And I remember just going through that whole experience, and I really thought I died. I was like, wow, like I can't believe I just died. Like this is the happiest day of my life. I'm so at peace. I'm so grateful. I lived a good life. You know, I said what I needed to say. I made some music and got my message to the world, you know, and I felt it like a sacrifice, like, because if I die, then my voice will be heard more. And I was just like, wow, like I died tonight. And that's what it felt like. But it was truly a death of my old self and a rebirth of my new self. And that's what it felt like. I was reborn that day. I felt good. I felt like a baby, newborn baby is how it felt. It felt like my body was in a new frequency. It was like a quantum leap into a higher dimension of myself, a higher new version of myself. And yeah, it was amazing. I could only describe it so much with words, because it was magic. Magic, the beauty about magic is that you can't really explain it. It's just a beautiful thing that happens that is just, wow, I can't believe it. That's how that experience was. It was magic. I couldn't believe it. The things that I saw, I couldn't believe it. The things that I felt, the emotion, the love that I felt from the earth, the love that I felt from the universe, it literally felt like I could feel. First, it went through a feeling where it was really intense. I felt like I went into the earth, and I could feel all the pain of the earth and the pain of just the earth healing, and the earth wanting all of its children, us on the planet, to just remember who we are, remember that we are loved, to remember that we are God, and that we are not separate from God. And we are one with everything and everyone. And that's literally like, whenever I was communicating with the earth, that's what I felt the earth telling me. And it wasn't verbal communication, it was emotion. The earth is a living, breathing organism, and it has emotion, and if you listen, if you connect, take your shoes off and connect to the earth, you can communicate. You can communicate through the elements, and that's how you activate. That's how you activate your avatar, is through connecting to the purest water, the purest sunlight, purest food, purest oxygen. And I was on a 5-day fast before the ayahuasca ceremony, so my energy was clean, it was clear, and I just felt like I just had the most perfect experience. It was so powerful. Yeah.
Sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It
And
was which year again? Sorry.
this was 2021 in August 28th. So yeah, it was recent. It was very recent, and it's just been a very rapid growth in my journey with ayahuasca. Because I've been working with plant medicine. I've been working with mushrooms for a while now, and that has really transcended my reality and my perception of life, my relationship to God, my relationship to the earth, and ayahuasca was just like the next level. There's nothing like it.
And what is with DMT?
The Shanga, so Bufo.
Is this the same? Shanga
And Bufo. So Bufo is the Alavoris frog. They call it sapo. And Bufo is a natural DMT that comes off the secretion of the frog, and it dries up and you smoke it. And it gives you a transcendental experience. It feels like every experience is different, depending on the person, depending on where the person is at, what the person needs, what their intention was. Every experience could be different with Bufo, and they call it the God molecule because it activates your God consciousness. It activates your super awareness, you know, you're superhuman. And they say that you're able, even if you go deep enough in your Bufo experience, if you're able to surrender to the medicine fully, that you blast into a dimension and you get to communicate with just like pure source consciousness, you know, and you get to feel and become and see what it's like to perceive from that essence, you know. And so yeah, it's a very powerful magical medicine. It stimulates the DMT naturally in your body, and it's not synthetic. It's straight from nature. And I see like the frog, I see that as the ancestors. I see the frog as the ancestors. I feel like some of our ancestors, when they pass, they manifest as these powerful creatures that bring this medicine, you know. And yeah, it's so powerful. Bufo, Rape, we have Shanga, we have Kambo, another frog medicine. Kambo is another powerful tool that works hand in hand with ayahuasca. So me and the shaman, Julieta, so she put together this package where you do the temezcal, you do the ayahuasca, you do the rape, you do kambo, and then in the morning you do bufo. And it's a whole activation package. It activates your whole essence. It activates your soul, activates your body, it activates your mind. It's healing on an emotional level, healing mental, really good for depression, really good for anxiety. And so this medicine, it's a tool. You can't go into the medicine and say the medicine is gonna fix all my problems. No, it definitely heals, definitely cleanses, it purifies, but you still have to do the work for you. It's just a tool to help you come to your center and see life from the highest perspective. But it's up to you to do the work. It's up to you to say, I'm gonna try my best every day to grow into the best version of myself, to purify my soul, to be able to enter heaven. You know, that's only something that you can do for you, and it's an everyday process, it's an everyday job to do the right thing, be the best you, grow in strength, grow in discipline, grow in spirituality, grow in consciousness, expand, elevate, activate. Yeah, it starts with you. And when you heal, one last thing, and when you heal yourself, you heal the world, you heal the universe, you heal your whole entire ancestry, your whole entire generation. You're not just healing for you, you're healing for the world. And because everybody has to do their own part, and whenever you do your part, you inspire others to do their part. And it's just a beautiful universal dance that we're doing together, and it's an honor.
I wanted to ask something because some people doesn't know what is ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is like from plants.
Yes, so
How they do it.
So it's the bark of this tree. It's called the Ayahuasca tree, and then it's the root of this other tree and a couple and just different. It's all natural herbs, all natural bark, roots, plants, and it's brewed together to make the ayahuasca. And yeah, it just becomes this drink that you drink. It's an elixir, and it's a psychedelic medicine. It activates your neuron, it activates your senses, it activates your DMT, it stimulates your chakras, and it activates your light. And the thing about ayahuasca is it's a full spectrum medicine. It will take you into your darkness so that you can master it and use your light to heal your darkness. You want to give your darkness consciousness. Dark energy isn't evil. Dark energy is just our unconsciousness. It's the things from our past life that we still haven't mastered. And your light is the things from your past life that you did master. You know, so you have your natural strengths and your natural weaknesses. Your shadow is just a part of you that you need to become aware of. You need to feed consciousness. You need to grow in those areas. So ayahuasca will reflect to you your subconscious. It will reflect to you your shadows, and it will give you your light, activate your light so that you are able to illuminate the dark and fill all your being with consciousness and love. It's pure love, pure harmony, pure consciousness is what it is. What I would describe ayahuasca as is Mother Nature condensed into a very concentrated form as a drink straight from the earth, and it's like drinking it and talking to God. That's what I feel on ayahuasca. I feel like I'm talking to the most high version of myself. I feel like I talk to the most high version of myself. Notice I say myself because I don't view myself as separate from God. I don't view myself as separate from the earth. I understand that we are one being, one entity, one consciousness, vibrating on different frequencies of ourselves, of that one very thing, infinitely. Every bird.
So, I feel like something is the ends maybe going
maybe.
to my... Sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, and I feel like yeah, we're elevating together as a human race. We're waking up together, and this is what we came for. This is what we came for. We came here to shift this planet. Beings like me, beings like you that come here, we're on a mission, you know? Earth is just my mission. This is a temporary life for me. The universe is my home. I'm an astral traveler. I've been traveling the universe for years. Many different planets, many different lifetimes, many different experiences, so much evolving. And I'm here temporarily on planet Earth to shift this planet. We're here for the experience. It's a beautiful thing. This is one of the most monumental things that has happened in our universe in a long time. A 3D planet is shifting into 5D. You feel me? And not only are we here to help, we're here to enjoy. It's a beautiful thing. This is like, wow, we don't want to miss this. Being galactic beings, we don't want to miss this earth shift. This is a universal party that we're experiencing. For this planet to be shifting, it's a universal party, and the more we shift into it, the more you'll see what I'm talking about. It's about to be beautiful. It's about to be heaven on earth. It's about to be 5D, fifth dimension, balance, harmony, peace.
When started the change from the 3D to the 5D?
It's been shifting for a while now. I feel like the consciousness shift was in 2012. You know, they would tell us that in 2012 the world is going to end, says the Mayan calendar, but the Mayans weren't predicting the end of the world. They were predicting the end of unconsciousness within the human race. Because notice by 2012, people just started waking up slowly, and they came in phases. You know, there's just as there's different tiers to, say, star beings. There's different tiers. There's different frequencies. And so we're activating in waves, and it goes in fractals. We learn, like I had a teacher in my life. I had a guru. I had an OG, and he passed me some very, very powerful information on my journey, which was to connect to nature, which was to connect to the elements, connect to myself, learn to love myself. And me practicing that knowledge activated my remembrance. We're here to remember. Remember who we are. Remember what we came for. Remember that you're sacred. And what sacred means to me is with divine purpose. We have a very divine purpose. Why, if you're ever living in your life and you feel like I'm just here for no reason, I invite you to reconsider that, because nobody is here on accident. Everybody has a divine purpose. It's up to you to get to know yourself in order to remember who you are as a soul, an infinite being. You've existed since the beginning of time. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed, only transferred and transformed. And you were in a different form before this. You are in this form now, and you'll be in a different form after this, but you can never die. And that's the beautiful thing about this life, and the medicine ayahuasca will show you that. You get to feel what it's like to feel God's consciousness. And I went to a place in ayahuasca where it was all black. I couldn't see anything, and I just, because usually it lights up with light, but I was seeing all black, and I was able, through my focus, I was able to create anything I wanted. Say I wanted to hang out with my best friend, I just think about them and I feel them, and boom, I create a whole simulation, and I'm able to go into that experience and say all the things I wanted to say to him, like how much I love you, and say all the things to my best friend, you know, and then say somebody that I wanted to have a serious conversation with, and I was struggling finding the courage to have this conversation, the things I want to tell them and maybe get off my chest. I was able to create a whole scenario where I'm sitting with that person in my head, and I'm watching it like a movie, and I'm talking to them, and I'm telling them like, hey, like I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I hurt you, and I want you to forgive me, and I want you to know that I forgive myself, and that we should both grow and heal from this. And me having that conversation with that person on ayahuasca in my head, because I literally watched it. It wasn't like I just was thinking about it. I watched it. I was looking at them, and I told them everything I wanted to tell them. It was the most beautiful thing. And after the next couple of days, I actually went to that person on the phone, and I called them, and I told them everything now in real life. But do you have a question for me?
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to know what you feel what's going to happen in this world, because look, now we are in a very difficult time to many people. Many people cannot handle it because they're suffering, they see just war, they see no peace at all, no love, a lot of people suffering. So why this happens now and what gonna happen?
Okay, so it's a very beautiful question. Because me, personally, I feel like whenever it comes to me processing the reality we live in, all the chaos that's going on in the world, and it looks like it's terrible out here sometimes, you know. However, I talk to the universe about these things, and I really meditate with it to gain the healthiest perspective. Whenever I think about, want to understand and gain clarity on my reality, I say, I trust the universe. I know that in this universe, everything has divine orchestration. Everything is happening for a reason, and that the universe needs things to happen in order to bring forth its will, you know, in order to bring forth its story. And so I trust the universe. And whenever I look at the world, I say, how does the universe see it? I know from my human perspective, it looks like there's chaos, it looks like there's war, it looks like it's a lot of things that maybe we should be afraid of, you know? But as I zoom out and look at it as the universe looks at it, I see it as there has been a very cancerous disease of misinformation that has been plaguing the earth. And you know, we have very evil people in position of, say, the world right now. They lead the world, and it's not people that are operating in love. They're operating in service to self, not service to others. And these people, these energies, they are what was I going to say? Hold on, my mind went blank. Sorry. Come on. Yeah. Okay,
I'm
so
wondering why they are there, even why they exist, that
exactly.
they can lead the world. Why evil can lead the world, let's say, you know?
So these evil energies, so it's very apparent that there's like this full spectrum that we're living on, you know. There's so much love on the planet, but there's also so much confusion, there's also so much evil, there's also so many bad things that you're able to see, you know. But even those things, I understand that this life is a dream. I understand that this life is a temporary experience, and it's all energy, it's all God's consciousness. That even though it looks like there's a lot of suffering going on, I see it as God is doing these things, you know, and God has very divine reasoning. It's like Paramahansa Yogananda said, you know who that is?
I hear about it.
Yeah, Paramahansa Yogananda said, God permitted evil in the world as a contrast so that God's children are able to see what it's like for the opposition of God's divinity. So if I have, you know, a chalkboard, when you write with the chalk on the blackboard, if I have a black chalk and I try to explain to you, if I have a white chalkboard and I try to explain to you with a white piece of chalk how beautiful God is to me, and how beautiful the light of God is, the love of God, the love of the universe. If I'm trying to write that on a white piece of chalk with white chalk, you're gonna be like, I can't see what you're saying, until God gave us the black chalkboard of darkness, of evil, of contrast. Now that I explained to you how beautiful the love of the universe is, now you're able to see, oh wow, I now see why it's so important to be in alignment with the universe, why it's so important to operate with love, why it's so important to be a good person. I now get it. And I now get to choose that, because now I understand that something exists that is not like that. That there's an opposite of the potentiality to be suffering, to be living in hell on earth. I want to live on heaven on earth. And it's a frequency that you tune into is these different dimensions of your mind. And if you're having negative thoughts, if you're in negative environments, you're gonna have negative emotions, which are gonna give you a negative dimension. You're gonna be living in low worlds. But if you are vibrating in love and you're operating in compassion and you're in healthy environments with good people, you're gonna be living in heaven, you know. And so what's happening on this earth is the evil that is controlling the world is feeling its final, it feels itself dying. Babylon, it's a beast, and it feels itself dying, and it's been reigning for so long that it's in resistance. And imagine dying and not wanting to die. You're like, ah. So the monster of the world is going through a death.
Something crazy. He's trying not to die.
And he's trying not to die, so they're creating chaos. And because in order for a new earth to be reborn, the old earth has to fall. Society has to fall, it has to collapse. And that's what's happening right now. We're in real life time watching the system fall. This is what it looks like. It's chaotic. The system, the people that run the system, they don't want to lose control. But they see that everybody's waking up, so they can no longer control everybody.
And they cannot stop this?
They cannot stop it.
Waking up?
No, they're trying to stop it.
But cannot.
God is stronger. Love is stronger. The universe is stronger. They're trying to block the sun.
True, with the chemtrails?
Yeah, they're trying to block the sun with chemtrails. They're trying to block the sun with fake clouds. And
why?
Because the sun activates your DNA. DNA is the mind of God living inside of you. DNA is the information of the universe, the Akashic records. And when you activate that through the elements, through sun, through water, through earth, through air, when you breathe oxygen, you're actually breathing consciousness. You're breathing God. Think about if you stop breathing. If I stopped breathing, if I held my breath, the first thing that wouldn't happen, I wouldn't die right away. If I held it for too long, maybe I would die. But if I only held it and I passed out, the first thing I would lose is consciousness. So what does that mean that we're breathing when we breathe the air that comes straight from the trees? We're breathing God, we're breathing consciousness. The more we breathe, the more clear our mind is, the more conscious we are, the more light we are. Air is light. Oxygen is light. I don't even like to call it oxygen anymore. That's a man-made science word, and so is consciousness, but we're breathing universal essence, chi. And it's a beautiful thing to think about. Whenever I had that thought, I was like, wow, I'm breathing God. So the more I breathe with intention, the more I breathe correctly, the more connection I have to God. And so I've been living my life with more intention. I've been living my life with more focus, with more direction, with more purpose. Every breath is a beautiful energy exchange. I'm grateful for every breath. You know, I don't say it with every breath, but man, I'm so happy to be breathing. I'm so happy to be seen. I'm so happy to be able to eat. I'm so happy to be able to drink water. Eat fruit. Eating fruit is such a good feeling.
That's true.
I'm so happy to be able to swim in the ocean. I'm just like, wow, like it fills me with life, you know, and it's changed me. connecting to nature has changed me. It activates your soul, it activates your light, and it activates your DNA. It helps you remember what we came here to do. Because the earth communicates. It has a frequency, electromagnetic field. And when you connect to that, you're able to receive the information straight from the earth of what we need to do as humans. Say, if my cells in my body, if they're not connected to me, then they're not even receiving the right information for what they need to do. I see us as cells to the earth. If we're not connected to the earth, then we don't even know what we need to do for the earth. If my cells are not connected and in harmony with my body, if they're operating in misinformation, if I had a disease like cancer, that means my cells aren't in harmony with my body. That means that my cells are making tumors, they're not in harmony. That means my cells are operating in chaos. What I look at in the earth is humanity are cancer cells. If you're born in the system, you're born as a cancer cell. And that's what it is to be born in the system. Because we're cells that are cells to the planet, but we're operating under misinformation. We're taught how to live backward. We're taught to live against the essence of what we are. And that creates confusion in the soul. It creates misdirection. We creates a lost soul. You know, we're born pure babies and we're so perfect. But the world takes us and dirties us. And it's part of the game. I literally, I don't view any oppressor. Whenever you view from the universe, you don't say that there's somebody against me. You start to realize that it's a journey with myself. It's a me versus me. My only enemy is my inner me. My only enemy is my bad habits. My only enemy is my addictions. My only enemy is me participating in the system. And whenever I take my power back and become a sovereign being, I now realize that I'm here to be unconditional love and to spread that all around the world, to spread healing, you know. And this journey of healing has taught me that it's bigger than me. The Christ consciousness works in fractals. So me reaching my higher self, me activating the Christ conscious light within me is only so I can give that energy to humanity. These experiences, now that I'm healed myself, these experiences no longer belong to me, because I know that as I share my story and my experiences in full vulnerability, that I will be able to heal and activate everybody and anybody that resonates with the way I give my message. You know, so I'm passing down the light that was given to me, and I'm spreading it. And once the whole earth is spread with this light, once the whole earth, every person shifts into 5D, then the whole planet will be heaven on earth. There will be no more war, there won't be no more evil, no more confusion.
No more material things?
Yeah, we'll be all rich. We'll all have everything that we could ever dream of. And the thing about living in such high frequency, you realize that you only need what you need. You know, your desires is only to have what you need to live your best life. You know, you don't overindulge. You don't take more than you need. It comes with morals, it comes with principles, it comes with discipline, it comes with righteousness. I don't want to take more than I need. I don't want to be gluttonous. I don't want to be greedy. I want to live with compassion. I want to live free. I want to give without expecting. Because I know that all energy is transferred, nothing is lost. And when I give from a pure heart, I receive abundance in another form. And we have to live with high levels of compassion. We have to live with unconditional love, because you need to understand that you are everyone and everyone is you. We are the same soul vibrating on different frequencies of that same soul. We are the same sun. How do you say sun in Spanish? Soul. Soul. We are the same soul vibrating on different frequencies of that same soul. And I am you in a parallel universe, experiencing the same plane of existence. And we need to break the illusion of separation and be able to live from the perspective of, you are me, and I know that. Whenever you know you're in your higher self, whenever you're able to live in this world and communicate and treat everyone like they are you. Treat everyone with the same love that you want for yourself. The thing about that is, we all are able to take ayahuasca and feel unconditional love and feel what it's like to have such a big heart, to say, wow, I'm everybody, everybody's me, we are all one. But the goal is to be able to live like that every day. Become that as a person, integrate that vibration, integrate that high consciousness, that you live your life and you treat everyone like they are you. That's how the one they call Jesus Christ, that's how he was. He understands that he is everybody. He understands that he is everything. Therefore, he treats everything with unconditional love. Every animal, every person, the earth. He communicates with everything like it's him, you know? And it's the goal to be Christ-like. It's the goal to be without the illusion of separation. That's the biggest illusion of the world, is the fact that we are separate from each other. Even though it looks like it because of ego. Ego is a very important thing for this human experience because it allows us to be able to have our own personal experience of life, our own perspective, our own dimension of perceiving. Because I am my own dimension, I am my own universe, you are your own universe, because there's no other perspective like yours, you know? And that's what gives you your ego. Ego is beautiful, and ego means sense of self. So your ego is whatever your I am is. If I say I am Mente, that is my current ego. If I say I am Jacob, that is my current ego. If I say I am God, that is my current ego. If I say I am everything, that is my current ego. So my mantra today is, for I am God, and I choose to be healthy, wealthy, wise, balanced, and without disease. You know, I know that I am everything. So whenever I pray, I am God, and I choose to be healthy, wealthy, wise, and without disease. That's me praying for the whole world, because God is everything. The universe is everything. So when I pray, my prayers aren't just for me. My prayers are for everybody. And that's another way to manifest that's amazing. When you manifest and you think bigger than yourself, I say, look, not only do I deserve this blessing, but everybody deserves to be blessed. So the same abundance that I'm praying for, the same blessings that I'm praying for, I'm going to pray for that for everybody. I'm going to pray for not peace just only in my life, but I'm praying for peace in the world. You know? And that's the thing, is just, the goal is to just live in separation, live in tune with the earth, and do your job in the shift, because we're shifting together. The quicker and the more that we live with high consciousness, the more that we focus on raising our frequency, and not just raising it, but maintaining it. You know, you have to live a lifestyle that promotes high frequency. You can't just do ayahuasca one time and then go back to your normal life and expect that you're gonna stay high frequency. No, it's an everyday practice. We have to do the job. We have to do the work of maintaining high vibration. You have to form healthy habits. You have to eat high vibrational food. The first step of vibrating at a higher frequency is to eat of a higher vibrational food. You can't eat the density of meat, you know. Even it's okay to eat meat if it's healthy meat, but you can't eat that every day. You have to have balance. You have to have a clean body. You have to have a light body to be able to integrate more light in the universe.
What you said with the food, yeah, I agree. I feel it immediately when I'm eating that I have a different energy. I feel different, and I remember that before you do ayahuasca, you have to do a diet.
Yeah.
So, because is it true that these kind of things can block your third eye, or what is it exactly? What food makes with you?
So, you're talking about when it comes to the ayahuasca experience?
No, it's just
so
it's very very strict. But I mean, in general, what does make food with you?
Okay, so food. There's many things that block your glands, you know. So if you have a lot of mucus in your body, then your energy isn't able to flow in its optimal state. You know, you're a lot denser. You have muck flowing through you. You know, if you have a lot of mucus, and foods that make mucus is a lot of processed foods, processed sugars, meats, dairies. It makes a lot of mucus in the body, and that doesn't allow for the best energy flow within your chakras. You know, best clarity in the mind, and the goal is to be able to vibrate high and hold the vibration. So if you're not exercising a healthy diet, then you're making your essence heavier. You know, you're making your spirit heavier. Whenever you're eating electricity, because we're electric beings, we're water and light, we're electricity, you know. And so when you eat electric food like fruits and alkaline food, then you're illuminating your light, you're activating your essence, you're vibrating higher, and it comes either hand in hand. So for me, the way it happened was I started thinking healthier because I started studying, I started researching, and I started having healthier thoughts. I started growing through healthy thoughts. And whenever I started thinking healthier, I wanted to eat healthier. It came hand in hand. True. And some people, it's the opposite. Some people say, I want to eat healthy. And once they start eating healthy, then they start thinking healthy. Yeah. So it goes either way. So either you think healthy and it makes you want to eat healthy, or you eat healthy and it makes you start thinking healthy. Yeah. And yeah, so it comes hand in hand. And the way you raise your frequency is with your thoughts. Because it goes thought. Okay, so the way thought creates emotion, right? And your emotion creates your vibration, and your vibration is your frequency. So whatever your frequent thoughts are, and whatever your frequent emotions are, is what your vibration is and what your frequency is. And that is why you need to be very mindful of your thoughts and of your subconscious, because whatever you're feeling frequently becomes your frequency. Frequent thoughts create frequency. And so you want to make sure that you're frequently thinking high vibrational thoughts. So you're frequently thinking in love, frequently thinking in gratitude, compassion, you know? And that is how you maintain your frequency, is to control your emotion. If you want to control your reality, it starts with controlling and mastering your emotion. If you want to master your emotion, you have to master your thought, because thought controls emotion. What you think causes what you feel, and what you feel causes how you act.
There we are by the manifestation.
Exactly. And exactly, what you feel attracts what you see in your life. We're here together today because we have similar frequencies, similar vibrations, we have similar feelings, similar perceptions, That's how we find each other. That's how we say, hey, I want to know that person, because there's a resonance. We feel like you feel like me, you know? When I talk to you, I'm like, wow, she gets me. We speak the same language, you know, and it's a beautiful thing. And so what is happening is we are in the age of Aquarius, and we're shifting into the golden age. You know, I don't know how accurate it is, but I resonate with it because that feels like the adequate timing. But I read something that said that we are shifting back into the golden age, and maybe by 2032 the shift will be complete, more or less, maybe sooner, maybe later. And that's very soon when you think of it, you know. And so what is happening now, everybody's starting to wake up, everybody's starting to learn how to love themselves, everybody's starting to learn and know their soul. And when you start to know and love yourself, you start to attract your soul tribe, your soul family. And in the age of frequency, in the age of Aquarius, it's all about soul family. It's all about attracting your tribe and starting to build and cultivate and start to literally together harness in frequency of new earth. We're doing it together. We have to get together as a tribe and literally create pillars of light through cultivation of love, through cultivation of just everything that is godly, everything that is righteous, everything that is heaven. You know, to live in a hell mind state is a choice. I have heavenly thoughts, therefore my reality reflects heaven on earth, you know? And that's why my frequency is heaven frequency, because I have heaven thoughts. So I live in heaven because that's what my mind is. And it wasn't always like that. And it's not always like that. I can't sit here and tell you I'm always in heaven. But I'm doing the work to make sure that's where I mostly am. You know? It's an everyday work, it's an everyday job. Sometimes I feel like sometimes I don't feel like myself. Sometimes I feel like I don't want to do anything. Sometimes I feel like there's no point in me doing all the things I'm doing. And that is just self-doubt. That is me doubting myself and my purpose. And, you know, we're here to have a human experience. So I'm grateful for all the emotions within that. Because where I'm from, I am a very godlike being. I am a perfect being, all-knowing, very wise, very advanced. I come from a very advanced galactic lineage, you know, and from there, we're so all-knowing that nothing surprises us. It's not like we know what's gonna happen before it even happens. So it's not like I'm like, oh, like, it's not like I'm like, it's just, everything's just like, yeah, I get it, yeah, I knew that was gonna happen, yeah, okay. You know, and here in this life, we don't know anything. So everything is emotional. I'm able to feel fear, I'm able to feel anger, I'm able to feel happiness, bliss, love. I'm able to feel everything, all these emotions, all this human experience. I'm here for it. I love it. I'm grateful to be able to feel so much. I'm grateful to be able to cry. I'm grateful to not understand everything. Because I've gone back to my mind. I've taken, like, say, LSD or ayahuasca, where I go to that version of myself and I know everything. And I wanted to turn off sometimes. I'm like, ah! I can't stop knowing everything. Like, turn it off. Where's the off button? It hurts sometimes to know everything. I'm just like, wow, like, ah! I can't stop knowing. And it's overwhelming, you know, and especially within this little human suit, you know, so yeah, we're integrating, we're evolving, we're becoming, and it's a very beautiful dance. And my soul family, we've been connecting, and we know when we communicate, we're like, we've done this before. This isn't our first time, and it's not going to be our last time. Let's do this. This is our game, this is our dance, this is gonna make sure that I act it the best. I'm gonna get an Oscar at the end. This is my movie. This is your movie. This is your movie. And why not do our best job? You know, it's all a dream. So whenever sometimes I get in those thoughts, this is just a dream. Does it really matter? What if I just do nothing all my life? Is it okay? It's just a dream. But no, this is what we're here for, is the human experience. It's bigger. It's like we're here to evolve, we're here to shift the planet, but the biggest thing I feel is like human experience. We're God beings, we're perfect beings, and for once we get to feel nothing, or we get to know nothing, and just to remember that we are everything. You know how beautiful it is to know nothing as a baby and grow up your life with all this chaos, all this confusion, all this emotion, like the spiritual awakening is blood, sweat, and tears. It's not an easy thing. Most people think they're gonna get into spirituality and just be namaste, meditating, yoga, fun. But no, spiritual journey is a very deep thing. It's shadow work. You have to look in the mirror and love what you see, no matter where you're at in your journey. You have to love yourself, you know? You have to look in the mirror and say, nobody can hurt me but me. And nobody can judge me but me. The only way your judgment affects me is if I take your judgment and use it on myself. So I choose to not judge myself. I choose to not judge you. I choose to, instead of judging, let me understand myself. Let me have compassion for myself. I was in a place where I wasn't operating in my awareness, in my most high awareness. I was operating in my shadow. So let me look at that shadow in my unconsciousness and say, I love you. I understand your level of misunderstanding, and I'm choosing to work on you, develop you, heal you, and feed you awareness, feed you light, feed you nurture, and shape myself into a divine masculine being. You know, that's what the goal is to get to divine energy, divine balance, and divine feminine energy and divine masculine energy. We have to activate it within ourselves. You know, and the shift of the planet, I saw it already. The shift of this planet comes through the rise of the feminine. The rise of the feminine is what balances out this planet to heaven on earth. And rise of the feminine doesn't mean women. It means because femininity isn't a gender, it's an essence. You know, so we all have feminine and masculine energy within our soul. Some of us have more of the other, but the goal at the end of the day is to balance within. And in my journey, it took me activating my feminine energy to be able to nurture my masculine energy and master myself, learn balance, heal myself. I healed myself through knowledge of self, through remembering, through surrendering, through gratitude. You know, and yeah, the rise of the feminine comes from the Divine Mother, the Divine Essence. All the queens in my life, all the women in my life have taught me so much. I'm so grateful for the women in my life. I have so many powerful women in my life, and it's healed me. It's healed me. It taught me how to activate my femininity, how to operate and love through that, love myself through that, and it's brought the most perfect balance in my life. And that energy is rising on the planet. You see all these sisters, beautiful sisters, doing their women's circles, sister circles, and we don't see enough men that are getting together with intention to heal and anchor in that divine masculine energy, to unravel their femininity and heal themselves, be vulnerable. And that's really what it's going to take. We need to do the work. We need to get together. We need to become warriors again. We need to stop being so little as men, our women need us. You know, we need to be divine masculine. We need to be able to lead our women, and our women need to, and our women, we need to trust them. Because our women are geniuses, they're guidance. The woman's body knows everything. They know more than because a woman feels, and they have such strong intuition that they just know. But they don't even know why they know, they just know. And we need to trust that. We need to honor that. We need to worship that. We need to respect that, you know? And that's what this journey has been teaching me, is that the new earth comes from the rise of the feminine. In you, in you, in you, in you, in me. Rise of the feminine balances the masculine, not to dominate, not to conquer, but to restore harmony. Divine feminine energy doesn't want to conquer. It doesn't want to control. It doesn't want to dominate. It wants to neutralize. It wants to bring harmony. It wants to bring resonance. And I saw it in a vision that the new earth, the new earth that that is birthing, it has a very divine feminine essence to it. I was meditating one time and I fell asleep and I had this dream. And in that dream, like, I was in this magical place, and it was just, everything looked so harmonious, everything looked in tune, everything looked like it was in full cipher with Earth. It looked perfect, and it had a queendom essence, not a kingdom essence. It was a village that I was observing, and I was on top of like this hill, and I was looking down at the village like, wow, like this is beautiful, you know? And I remember waking up from that dream and knowing that it was more than a dream, and I knew I was looking into the future of what Earth is evolving into, because everything just looked harmonious. Everything just looked like it was in divine balance. And that's what we're shifting into. First, this chaotic world has to fall, it has to die. And there's a split that's going on in consciousness, you know. Those that are operating in fear, those that are operating in confusion, and they keep on giving in to the media, those people, there's a dividing that is going on from the universe, and these people, they need to have faith. They need to remember. And I have compassion for these people. The same faith that I had on my journey for myself, because I wasn't always this wise. I didn't always have this much clarity. But I had faith. And I had faith in my growth. I had faith in my evolution. I had faith in my becoming. The most amazing thing about this life and about this now moment is I haven't even met all of myself. I'm becoming every day, every breath. I'm becoming more of myself. I'm remembering more of myself. So for me to be in this space right now where I already love myself, I love myself. And I haven't even met all of me. So it's exciting. Like, I'm about to meet more of myself. It's telling me I'm not done downloading. It's amazing to think about that. You haven't even met all of you yet.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
You said before we did this Ayahuasca ceremony 1 week ago, you said you was in California.
Yeah.
And you said you had a wild time again.
Yeah, so
how do you love yourself in this time?
Okay, so I recently, in the beginning of this year, went through a contrast. So I'm someone that I say thank you for the contrast of an opposite feeling, you know? I know what it feels like to be very godly. I know what it feels like to be in love with myself. But I also know what it feels like to be the opposite. I know what it feels like to not feel so good. I know what it feels like to look in the mirror and not like what you see. I know what it feels like to feel depression, to not be in alignment with my soul, not be in alignment with my love, not be in alignment with the universe, not be on the frequency of the earth. I know what it feels like. And in the beginning of this year, I went through this whole period where I made some poor decisions. You know, I went back to the States for a visit, and I merged with my past life. I merged with my old self a little too much, and I felt the repercussions. I felt the kind of like if the cause and the effect. I felt the effect of my decisions, and I felt like very out of alignment with my center, very out of alignment with my spirit. I didn't really care about health that much. I didn't really care about anything. All I wanted to do is like watch movies and play video games, and I didn't want to do anything. I felt like very strong depression for a little bit, but I didn't care. However, I still had my very expanded consciousness. I still had a very powerful mind. So I was able to stay and communicate with myself and have healthy communications. It's not like I lost myself. I consciously took time to rest. I let myself rest, you know. I was exhausted, really. I let myself rest. And I knew that it was going to be time for me to get back to work. So I took the time to just be lazy, and it didn't feel the best, but I know my power. I know how to activate. I know how to get back to my godly essence. And so yeah, it was literally like a flip of the switch. I get up and I say, okay, I'm ready to be God again.
And then you did it, and then you did ayahuasca,
yeah.
And then I just want to say, because it's interesting, because I think a lot of people can understand the situation.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, for example, I would say I'm conscious, but not all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and then I feel sometimes bad too. Some people think that people are like you or me, my friends, who are thinking I'm always positive, that I never can feel bad, or that I can never feel depressed.
Yeah.
No, I can feel it too. Even at my worst time, I just mean it's not that you have to have panic or just
yeah.
Just,
you need to have compassion for yourself.
Yeah, you cannot punish. No, not punish yourself. I don't know the word.
You can't judge yourself.
Yeah, judge yourself.
You can't. You gotta forgive yourself. You know. You gotta be able to forgive yourself and just focus on growing. That's the best thing. Because when you have to let go of that idea of, man, like I messed up, you know, like or I'm bad, you know, you have to let go of that idea, and you have to forgive yourself and say, I'm gonna grow past this. I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna heal. You know, you have to have faith in yourself. You gotta believe in yourself.
Yeah, and then you did the ayahuasca, and then you said the tuna.
Yep.
Ayahuasca showed you.
Just not even only the ayahuasca, coming back to Mexico in general, just reactivated me. I started feeling immediately better, and then ayahuasca just.
But they showed you. I mean, ayahuasca showed you that.
Oh yeah, ayahuasca. Oh yeah, ayahuasca showed me. Ayahuasca slapped me. It literally felt like my ancestors were a little bit mad at me. You know, not mad at me, but had to teach me a lesson. And they had to pat, because whenever I did the ayahuasca, because I had taken some drugs in my journey in California. I was a little wild, a little careless. I was moving without, a little bit reckless, a little bit spiritually reckless. And yeah, I felt it, what it did to me. And then the ayahuasca, the whole first 40 minutes was really hard for me. It was intense. Yeah, and it wasn't the most pleasurable experience, but I knew, I was conscious that I did it to myself. I knew that I couldn't blame anything. I knew that it's not ayahuasca's fault. It's me. I can say, ayahuasca, no, you're terrible. No, it's me. I gotta look at me. This is me. This is what I feel like right now. This is what I did to myself.
A lot of people are afraid, They're afraid that they're gonna have a bad trip.
Yeah.
But what means bad trip? Is there any chance to get a bad trip? Or is it just that our shows you, or they
gives you what you need.
Have to go through it, you know, some kind of. If you're suffering then, or if you're suffering all your life, I mean, anyway, ayahuasca will not make you suffering more than what you would suffer, or?
Exactly.
Because people are afraid.
Yeah. So it shows you what about yourself you need to fix. And so it's a beautiful thing to be able to say like, oh wow, like that's me. And I choose to be better, you know? It's beautiful. Definitely grateful for everything on this journey.
Yeah, it's really nice. And what else is, so you came to Mexico to be, well, your way is, your goal is to be a shaman, no? Shaman, this is your way now, right?
So it's like this, it's like I already know that I am a shaman, but it's a journey of remembering, you know? So I feel like I'm being re-anointed by my ancestors. I feel like I'm being re-initiated. But I have like past lives as a shaman. I've done it before. Because whenever I get into that mode in the ayahuasca, I know how to navigate. I know how to help people through their experience. I know how to work with the medicine. I know how to communicate with the medicine, how to guard and communicate with the spirits, you know. And yeah, it's a very, very powerful thing, very powerful journey. And I came to Mexico with the intention to connect with a shaman that will help me remember, you know. And I wrote it down in my book. Before I came, I said
What is it for?
like a journal.
Okay.
I wrote in my journal, I said, I am aligning with the shaman that is helping me unravel my shamanistic essence, my shamanistic remembrance, and also like facilitating medicine and working with the medicine, working with plant medicine, and just in that world, you know. I wrote it down in my book as a manifestation, and then boom, I found Blanca and her sister Julieta, which is the shaman. And those are now my family. It's my family forever. And yeah, I'm so grateful. Very powerful woman. Shout out to Julieta, very beautiful goddess. And it's very good. It's a beautiful honor to be able to be there with them and be there with Julieta and do these ceremonies all over Mexico.
How many ceremonies did you do already?
7. The last one we did was the 7th.
Yeah, the next one is on 30th of April. Where will it be?
Same place. It's another dos Tulum. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. I'm excited.
Yeah, I will go another time. And I think some people too. So yeah, I think wow, it's really nice. I mean, yeah, it's so much information. Just anyway. I would love to ask you more.
Yeah.
We have already so much, you know. Maybe we do another one. Another time.
Yeah. Let's go party.
Yeah, let's go for to the party.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I want to say is thank you for your time and your nice message for everyone that you share. It's really, I mean, this is priceless. I mean, this is really the information. This is so important because you are the first person who I can really talk with, to be honest, about this kind of things that really deep things. And it's nice that you say that it's gonna be like this more and more, that people waking up.
Everybody's waking up. Everybody's activating. Because the earth is healing. The earth is activating. The earth's frequency is rising. So if you connect to the earth, you're becoming that. You're becoming the frequency of the earth. And my last and final message to the people is we want to be in frequency with the earth by the time the shift is.
Now we had so many information, and I could ask you more, I think another time, because I want that you talk one day like where you are from, which planet you are from, because I find it so interesting.
Yeah.
I find it so interesting. So we're gonna do another talk, but now we're gonna finish, okay? So your last word, or the last what you want to say,
was that we need to be in frequency with the planet. We need to be on the frequency of the planet by the time the shift is complete. Because if you are not vibrating in the resonance of the planet, by the time the shift is complete, then you will be considered part of the virus. And you will be wiped away with the natural disaster whenever the earth cleanses itself. Right now the earth is getting ready for cleansing. And it's gonna, with natural disaster, with tsunamis, volcanoes, tornadoes, hurricanes, it's gonna destroy everything. It's gonna destroy everything that doesn't need to be here anymore. And all that is gonna exist is that is in frequency with the planet. And it's in the scripture that whenever this is going on, that those people that did listen to the earth, they will be guided to safe places, so that whenever the destruction is happening, we are safe. And whenever the destruction is over, we get to have the earth again and build a new earth on top of the earth.
Cool.
Yeah.
Important message.
Yeah. So yeah, live in tune with the planet.
Yeah. I think that was thank you.
Thank you.
See you another time. Yeah, cool. Oh shit.
How about that?
Was good. Yeah, I'm happy.